Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here for the early morning mindfulness session. Thank you for the introduction. My name is Firdous, and as I was introduced, I'm the Executive Director at Lalela. We work in underserved communities across Africa, focusing on art education from grades 1 up until grade 12. And just a little bit of context around the mindfulness workshop that I'm going to do with you today. During COVID, it was very difficult to access our learners, most of whom don't have access to technology. And if they do, they don't have access to data. We created a form of virtual programming, which is a long story that I won't get into now. But something that came out of that is that we backtracked during COVID on all of our curriculum that dealt with how we work with learners who are affected by trauma. And in the public school, in the low to no fee school sector, there are majority of learners into the schooling system affected by trauma, which I think is very relevant as a tertiary institution, because that does affect the way that they move into tertiary education, if they move into tertiary education, and what the experience of tertiary education is. And so during COVID, I backtracked and developed a guide for educators on how to use art and creative activities and mindfulness in order to help learners to self-regulate, the ground, and to debrief in order for them to learn. Because I think one thing that is clear for all of us educators is that, number one, you can't teach a hungry child, but you also can't teach somebody who is so severely affected by trauma that they're not able to be present and focus, and that their learning and the abilities to learn is affected because of it. And so this workshop really comes from that. So we have trained teachers across most of the provinces now. But this activity that we're going to do today is something we've done across all of the grades, but also with our staff and also with teachers. And it's just a really useful tool to look at when you are in the classroom, when you are working with young people, when you're in your daily life. How are your emotions affecting you and your body? And how do we regulate that? So just to start, I see there's quite a few of you, just so we can say hi to everybody. If you could do me a favor, if you could at any point during this session, just type for me, if you think about if you were a color today, what color that would be linked to your feeling, not your favorite color. So although it would be lovely to know what your favorite color is, that's what I'm asking. So if you could think about a color that would represent how you're feeling today, and write that in the chat, and why. So don't just tell me I feel green today. So yeah, but I'm not sure if you can, or maybe you can't type in the chat. Okay, if you can't type in the chat, that's also okay. Oh, you can type in the Q&A, sorry. Yes, you can type in the Q&A. So if you can, if you'd like to, if you could just share if you're a color today, and at any point you can do this. So one of the things that we use as an organization, all of our classrooms, even as staff, is meditation. So we're going to start the session with a short meditation to bring awareness to your body. So I'm going to ask you to sit somewhere nice and quiet if you can. If it isn't quiet, if you do have earphones, somewhere where you can just relax and feel comfortable enough to close your eyes. I'm going to count to 3, and when I get to 3, I would like you to put your feet firmly to the ground, have your back up straight, relax your body, and when I get to 3, close your eyes. 1, 2, 3. With your eyes closed, I want you to just slowly bring your awareness to your core, the core of your body, center point. And just focus on that point very intently. Breathe naturally. Don't try and breathe too deeply or too slowly. Just observe the natural rhythm of your breath and how that pushes into your core. How does that feel at that point? Just allow yourself to breathe and just observe. And I want you to imagine that from that core, there's a temperature. And whatever that temperature is, it's something that's comfortable for you. So either it's a cool feeling or a warm feeling. And as you breathe, that coolness or that warmth starts to build in that core. Let's take a deep breath in together. Out. Now I want you to imagine that feeling moving out from that center point. And as it moves out, become aware of every body part. As it moves out from the center, allow yourself to breathe into every part of your body, just becoming aware of every feeling, every tingle, every pain, every part of your body that might feel dead. Just bring awareness to it. Breathe into it. And if you find your mind starts to linger, acknowledge your thoughts and bring it back to your body. Just allow your mind to wander through every part of you. Be aware of where tension is sitting. And if there are parts that feel empty, breathe into those parts. If there are parts that feel too full, release from those parts. And as you feel that awareness throughout your body, feel each of those parts relax. Allow your shoulders to drop down. Allow your chin to drop. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. Feel the weight of your feet on the ground. Allow yourself to be completely present. Let's take another deep breath in together. Out. Now, as you sit, as you move through each part of your body, I want you to think of the feeling of gratitude. You can think about something that has brought you the feeling of gratitude or something that makes you feel gratitude. It doesn't have to be a person, it can be a thing, it can be a moment, it could be a time. But I want you to think about that feeling and imagine it as a color. And imagine that color moving through your body. As you become aware, allow that feeling to move through every part, from the top of your head, slowly down to your face, the back of your skull, down your neck, to your shoulders, down into your abdomen, down your legs, through to your ankles, into your toes. Imagine that feeling of gratitude filling you up, wrapping around you like a warm blanket or a cool breeze. Let's take one last deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can come back and open your eyes. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed that time to sit and breathe. Something that we always tell our educators, especially, they work in really difficult environments, the workload is a lot, is that it's okay to take a moment to find somewhere quiet and close your eyes and just breathe. I'm sure there's lots of guided meditations and things, different things work for different people. For some, it's just listening to music, but even just taking a moment to get a breath of fresh air sometimes makes all the difference to heading on into the next part of your day, because we're all juggling so much. So we're going to do a little activity now. We've all kind of focused in on our bodies. Thank you to those of you who shared your colors. Please do continue to do so. I'm going to ask you on your page to draw me a gingerbread man. This is only for you. Nobody's going to see it. So this is what a gingerbread man looks like. So don't draw Stocky Manichi, because we're going to be coloring it in. So you're going to draw a gingerbread man for me. And when you are done with your gingerbread man, as you're drawing it, you can think about this. You can start now as I'm speaking. I want you to think about which 5 emotions you have been sitting with quite often in this time period. So if I'm looking at people's emotions, people are tired but excited. People have been swimming. People have been feeling burnout. So there's a lot of different emotions that even in this moment people are feeling. But the 5 prevalent emotions that you feel quite often in this period of your life, and you're going to write those 5 emotions down. Once you have written those 5 emotions, I want you to think about what are the triggers for those emotions. So you're going to write down, say it's happy, sad, depressed, annoyed, excited. You're going to write down what are the things that make you feel that way. So what are the things that trigger those emotions? It's just 1 or 2 words. You're not going to spend too much time on it. So it could be feeling calm is maybe swimming, feeling annoyed is maybe supervisor. What are the things that are triggering those emotions? Okay, so you're going to write down the 5 emotions. What are the things that's triggering those emotions? And then you're going to think about where in your body do those feelings sit? And if that emotion was a color, what color would it be? So for me, I know when I feel nervous, it sits in my belly. So I have knots that kind of twist and twist and twist. If I feel very worried, I get a headache. So worry sits in my head. There are some emotions that sit in more than one space in your body. So I know that if I feel afraid, it's kind of a wave that goes through my whole body and my whole body gets affected. It's various different parts. I also know if I feel excited, it's my chest and my kind of legs tingle. So it's 2 places. And then there are those parts of your body that hold more than one emotion. So for example, maybe for me, my chest, it's both sadness and excitement sit there. So you're going to reflect on where in your body those feelings sit, and you're going to color in your gingerbread man according to where those emotions are. So if for example, nervousness sits in your belly and it's yellow for you, you will color in your belly yellow, and you can decorate it and make it fancy also if you like. This is just fun. So I'm going to play you 2 songs. And at the end of those 2 songs, you need to be done. So it's going to be writing down 5 emotions, reflecting on what triggers those emotions in you. And you don't have to make it too long, one word. You're not writing an essay or dissertation around it. You're just writing keywords. And then you're going to choose a color, assign a color to each body part, to each emotion, and then color in the part of your body where that emotion sits. Okay, if you have any questions, please just write Q&A. Okay. I'm going to play you, like I said, 2 songs, and then you should be done after that. Okay, so I hope most of you have completed that. If you haven't, you can just continue. It's also fun to do while you're listening to all the panel discussions. I have a whole program on how doodling helps listening. But I think it would be nice if you did have any feedback around what that was like for you to reflect on where your emotions sit in your body. Often I find it's much easier for children to do than it is for adults, because we're so in our head about our emotions. We're so detached from our bodies. And so it's no wonder that when we're feeling stressed and we're going through things like burnout, that it can sneak up on us, because that connection to our body and how we are feeling is so disconnected. When we are not able to recognize on a very primal level how our emotions is affecting our body and its function, then often things like burnout and things like depression and anxiety, or emotions around specific events, feel overwhelming very quickly, and we're not able to manage them. So this particular activity is really the first step in teaching people to self-regulate, because the first step in allowing yourself to know how to manage your emotions and your impulses is, number one, to recognize how that feels and when it's happening. For a lot of young people, when they haven't learned how to self-regulate very early on in their life, they struggle with managing their emotions later on because of that lack of awareness. So I'm going to give you a little bit of homework to think about. I want you to spend some time with your gingerbread man, and look at where your emotions are sitting in your body. And I want you to think about, what do you do when those emotions arise? So for example, maybe if you feel anger in your fists, it makes you clench your fists. Maybe you end up shouting at people or ignoring people, or drinking, or whatever it is that kind of lets off steam. And then ask yourself, is that a helpful reaction to that emotion? And if not, what can I do as an alternative? So I'm going to leave you to sit with that. Think about how might you release those emotions from those parts of your body, and also just observe where the emotions sit, and where the problem areas of your health is. Often they are so related. So for example, somebody who experiences a lot of emotions in the bellies within the digestive system often might have problems with things like constipation, or a runny tummy, or loss of appetite. Somebody who experiences everything here might get things like migraines, etc. Okay, if there are any questions, please let me know. Or if you would like to share also what that was like for you, what the experience was like, please do. And if you're not able to hear, I would recommend sharing it with a trusted friend or family member, to just kind of discuss what it is that you discovered when tuning into your body, because sometimes debriefing about it or talking about it also does help you process and put the thoughts that might be very abstract into something concrete. Okay, thank you very much for having me. I hope that was helpful. I hope it was a good way to start your day. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and yeah, good luck with the end of year preparations. Thank you.